Halen returns to the United States shores, victorious, meritorious, yes indeed. We did 5 weeks throughout Europe, and now we're going to start our second leg, the Van Halen Summer Tour, which goes all throughout the Midwest and the South, you know, in America, and then we'll continue on internationally at the end of the summer.
The people rock pretty hard over in Europe like this?
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of the people over in Europe think they invented rock and roll, half the British, you know, and so forth and so on. So they get on pretty well. They, you know, they enjoy it. It makes a lot of noise over there, but the cities aren't as much fun. You know, nightlife, et cetera, is just not up to par. So, you know, it's a joy to come back to the United States because all those extracurricular activities, you know, start to add up.
Tell me about the curricular activities.
I said extracurricular. And, you know, well, everything that you read about in the magazines is pretty true. I had a visit from the Toledo police this afternoon, so they know, man. Come on, how come you don't know?
I'm telling you, we didn't know that they stopped by. What were you, racing the little fella or what?
Well, my radio was too loud, and they wanted to check out Old Diamond anyways on account of the Cincinnati fiasco. So, you know, one thing leads to another, I guess.
Let's talk about this LP right now. The first thing, when people get it, they pull out that poster. What's the story behind it?
Story is my love life is 3 times better than it ever was before. The poster works. No, the poster is designed. This poster is designed to upset you in some way or other. Nobody can figure out why we put it in there. They can't figure out what the picture means. Look, I took the picture and I can't figure out what it means. You know, well, a very deep subject, just like the poster.
You don't have any women get down on you for that, do you?
What'd you say? Get down. Oh, yes.
I mean, offended by the poster.
Yeah, all kinds of people are offended by the poster, and that's the whole point, is that, you know, you don't want to go out, you know, entrances and exits or anything, and if Dave's got to go away, I want to go out, bam, just like I came in, screaming and kicking. So it's like, for rock and roll, you're supposed to make waves, you know? It's like, and I didn't want to be acceptable, you know? You don't want to grow up to be some responsible citizen, you know? I don't even know how to spell it, so it's like, that's why rock and roll is better than music, man. It's just, you know, it's a whole attitude, it's a whole lifestyle. And the poster is the attitude of just when you think you understand Van Halen, well, you really don't, you know? So, I don't know, my parents can tell you that.
Song Everybody Wants Some.
Well, that's that's pretty basic, you know. It's like an anthem, not the national anthem. It's more like my basement anthems, you know. And the part in the middle is ad-lib. It's very spontaneous, very real life. So, you know, that was typical. That in the studio, you know, I didn't have anything prepared for the tracks on that part, you know, and Teddy Templeman, our producer, says, "Okay, Dave, you ready?" I said, "Sure." You know, I go in the studio and we make it up. You know, I'm not gonna lose face. And I never did homework anyway, so you know, and the beat goes on.
And then the title track, "Women and Children First."
Well, title of that song is actually "Could This Be Magic?" And if you listen really closely to the very beginning of it, you'll hear the rain in the background and so forth. What we did is we wanted to get a real live feel to it, so we opened up the bay doors. There's loading doors in the studio there. It was raining. This is in California. And we opened up the doors, and you'll hear I missed the foot tap about 12th bar into the song. And there's some really beautiful harmony from Alex and Michael. And if you listen real close, the third and last time that we hit the chorus in the song, when it goes and she says, "Could this be magic?" There's a chick's voice. There was somebody hanging around the studio, and we said, "Hey, honey, you want to sing?" You know, and she's a singer, and you're gonna have to guess who it is. She only sings one line, though, you know.
Tell me about some of the women. Do they write you letters? Do they ask you for any strange things? Marriage, live with me, take me away?
I'm trying to think what's nonsensical here. Listen, you know, where do you think little rock stars come from? you know, it's nature, man, you know. Yeah, there's plenty of girls out on the road, et cetera, but I didn't get into rock and roll because I was having social problems, you know. I got into rock and roll because I heard they could get even better. So, you know, life could be worse. Let me answer the question that way. A whole lot worse.
And the rest of the band, you guys all got together because you like to rock and just have a good time with people?
Absolutely. Well, we were kind of stuck with each other back high school, you know, because towards the end of high school and stuff, you got to decide whether or not you're going to pursue a career in music and, you know, travel around interview land, where, you know, whether you're going to travel around and make records and do shows and that kind of thing. And that's when your parents come down and bear on you and say you got to have something to fall back on. Your probation officer gives you hell. And, you know, and oh my God, you know, and excommunicate you, you know, and you ain't been to church for weeks anyways, and it's really frustrating, and, you know, it drives you nuts. And a lot of people they don't fall by the wayside, but they go on to become doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs. And we went on to be professional bums, you know. So look, when I was 8 years old, you know, I used to sit at the dinner table, you know, with the family and stuff. And when we had company, I'd start ticky-tacking with the knives and forks, you know, on the table, and I'd sing commercials. Have you ever seen that special chocolate your friends would always ask to share? You could never have just one bar, you could call your own, but there's 2 whole chocolate almond peanut bars in every Peter Paul Almond Joy. Do you know the chorus? Because an Almond Joy, you could share half and still have a whole. Sing it. With Almond Joy, you could share half and still have a whole. With Almond Joy, you square. So it's like, you know,
It goes on.
hey, my parents did the same number. They rejected it, you know, and they'd tell friends at the table and stuff. They'd say, now don't pay any attention to Dave. He's just doing monkey hour. And as you can see, I've turned monkey hour into a career. So it's like, I'm a happy kid.
You got any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got 2 sisters. And, yeah.
They like you?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't go back to Los Angeles hardly at all anymore. You know, we record and we rehearse there. I wasn't born in L.A., by the way, either. I'm from Bloomington, Indiana, by way of the East Coast. We lived out in Massachusetts, New York for a while. And I went to high school in Los Angeles. So, you know, the weather's nice, and girls in bikinis roller skating is nicer when the weather is nice. So, you know, but besides that, I got no special thing for Los Angeles or, you know, California. And I like to travel. I continue to travel. You know, everybody bought something, you know, this year when we got off the road, and some of the guys are living in L.A., and I bought a new suitcase. So
That's the way when you get off the road, you like to travel to relax and stuff?
Yeah.
What else you like to do?
Well, anything that takes movement, some kind of energy. You know, I can't stand to just sit around. You know, they called me hyperactive, you know, when I was a little kid. They gave me Ritalin therapy, you know, to slow me down. So I'd save up the whole stash and sell it at school, you know. Yeah, you know. And anything that takes some kind of movement, some kind of energy, you know. It's getting to be summertime now. Our roller hockey team is getting back together, you know. The weather's good. And in a hall like this, where there's no seats and stuff, pretty soon we'll start getting the league up. And you play roller hockey in the afternoons, you know.
Go into roller hockey.
Well, you play it. You use the same equipment, you know, so that when you body slam the drum roadie upside the wall, you can work that night. And it's like, you know, and you play with a ball instead of a puck. And that way when you throw it, it has no resiliency. It won't bounce, you know, it'll stick to the floor. And you play with the sticks and the same pads and the face mask. Mine's got a big red clown smile on it and no eyes, you know. So, you know, and we go out and smack each other around. It's very therapeutic. And, you know, it goes on and on.
And you got a good team. Is the band against...
Oh, the L.A. Badness is the best team, man. We are the Badness. You know.
You ever party too much?
Oh, sure. Like last night, there was this 15-year... Oh, I'm sorry. You know.
When you're on stage, we've seen you up in Detroit when you went to that first swing up through there, and now you're down here. The show is so high energy, and you're going through the whole show. You lose weight. Are you physically exhausted after shows?
Well, you're exhausted, but that wears off after about 2 hours, and getting tired doesn't really set in until about 6 o'clock in the morning from that kind of a buzz. But what you have there is a completely different environment. You know, it's like a separate island. You know, when the lights go on and the audience is all faced in one direction, you know, the heat goes up to about 110 degrees by the second song, and the volume is there. You ever look at a glass of water in front of a bass speaker and you know how it ripples, you know, it makes those little ripples and stuff? Well, your whole body does that for a sustained period of time. And It's not like getting high. I can tell you that. But it's a definite buzz, and you feel like an animal. You know, what happens is everything that you do up there, you get, you pound that out in the basement, you know, or backstage, because once you get out there, actual thinking and considering this and that and, you know, doing like that is impossible. You know, you just do what flows into you. And it's great, man.
Do you draw a lot of energy from the crowd? Can you tell if they got
Oh, sure, well, you draw energy from the crowd, but I don't like to wait around. You know, some bands will say, oh, yeah, we wait for the audience to get into it, and then we recycle the energy and show them how much we love them. You know, it's like, hey, man, I paid $10.50 American to see your dead behind. You know, that's where I come in. I carry a flamethrower. You know, this is the city. There's a lot of wild people out there. Sometimes they get out of line. That's where I come in. I carry a microphone. Dun, 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 dun. I was working the night watch out of Juvenile, as usual, when a call came in. Bing! It was either the blonde or the promoter. Either way, it spelled trouble. That's my middle name. Dun, dun, dun. Van Halen, Toledo, Ohio, as we play out our steamy lives against the seamless backdrop of Toledo at night, right in front of your naked, steaming eyes. Feel the sound of my voice. Hold the speaker against your body. Now, feel my words as they travel up your nervous system and right into your mind, just like my words are now.